This motorcycle was not built to be comfortable. It was not built to be forgiving. And it was definitely not built to impress you with sound, drama, or emotion. The Yamaha R1 is a race machine that was made road legal only because regulations demanded it. Nothing about this bike exists by accident. Every component, every dimension, and every behavior has been shaped by one priority: performance on the racetrack. If you truly want to understand why the Yamaha R1 feels so different from other superbikes, why it demands respect from its rider, and why it continues to be one of the most track-focused motorcycles ever produced, then this is not a video you can partially watch. This is a breakdown you need to see till the very end. The Yamaha R1 has never tried to be a balanced, everyday superbike. From the very first generation, Yamaha made it clear that the R1 would follow a simple philosophy: track first, everything else second. Comfort, practicality, and ease of use were never leading design targets. Instead, Yamaha engineers focused on how the bike behaves when pushed to the limit. When the R1 was being developed, the core questions were very specific. Will the bike remain stable under extreme braking forces? Will the rider receive clear feedback at maximum lean angle? Will the power delivery remain predictable when exiting corners at race pace? And most importantly, can fast lap times be repeated consistently without the bike becoming unpredictable? These questions shape the R1 into a motorcycle that feels demanding but honest. It does not hide mistakes. It does not soften feedback. It tells the rider exactly what the tires, chassis, and suspension are doing at all times. This is why the R1 feels intimidating to some riders and incredibly rewarding to others. At the heart of the Yamaha R1 is its 998 cubic centimeters crossplane inline-4 engine. This engine is the defining element of the R1's identity and the main reason it behaves so differently from traditional inline-4 superbikes. Conventional inline-4 engines use evenly spaced firing intervals. This design produces smooth power and high peak horsepower, but it also creates sudden changes in torque delivery when the engine is pushed hard. On a racetrack, these torque spikes can reduce rear tire confidence, especially at corner exit. The crossplane crankshaft completely changes this behavior. By using uneven firing intervals, the engine delivers power in a way that more closely matches the grip characteristics of the rear tire. Instead of sudden spikes, power arrives in a more controlled and predictable manner. The rider feels a direct connection between throttle input and rear tire response. This design was not created for the street. It comes directly from Yamaha's MotoGP program. The goal was never to make the engine feel smooth or friendly. The goal was to give riders maximum control at the limit of traction. That is exactly what the R1 delivers. On paper, the Yamaha R1 produces around 200 horsepower, but Yamaha never designed this motorcycle to chase numbers. Horsepower figures are easy to market, but they do not tell the full story of how a bike performs on track. What truly matters is how power is delivered. The R1 provides controlled torque at low RPM, a strong and usable mid-range, and aggressive yet linear power at high RPM. This allows the rider to open the throttle earlier when exiting corners without overwhelming the rear tire. Instead of feeling like the engine is fighting the chassis, the R1 feels cohesive. The power delivery works with the suspension, the frame, and the electronics rather than against them. This balance is what allows skilled riders to push harder with confidence. The chassis of the Yamaha R1 plays a critical role in how the bike communicates with the rider. Yamaha uses its Delta Box aluminum frame, engineered to achieve a very specific balance between stiffness and controlled flex. A frame that is too stiff can feel nervous and unforgiving, especially on imperfect track surfaces. A frame that is too flexible can feel vague and unstable at high speeds. Yamaha tuned the R1's frame to provide stability under braking, clear feedback at lean, and confidence during high-speed transitions. This controlled flex allows the tires to maintain contact with the track while still transmitting useful information to the rider. The result is a bike that feels planted without feeling numb. Every input has a clear response. Suspension setup on the Yamaha R1 follows the same philosophy as the rest of the bike. The fully adjustable KYB suspension at the front and rear is not designed for comfort. It is designed for communication. Under hard braking, the front suspension compresses in a predictable manner, allowing the rider to judge braking force accurately. During corner entry, weight transfer remains controlled, helping the bike settle smoothly into lean. Under acceleration, rear squat is managed in a way that maintains traction without excessive movement. At low speeds or on rough roads, the R1 can feel stiff and demanding. But once the bike is pushed and the suspension begins working within its intended range, everything makes sense. This is a machine that expects to be ridden hard. Braking performance is another area where the R1 clearly reveals its priorities. High-performance Brembo radial-mounted calipers and large front discs provide strong stopping power with excellent modulation. These brakes are not just about force. They are about confidence. The initial bite is firm, allowing the rider to commit to late braking. Modulation is precise, making it easier to trail brake into corners. Stability under heavy braking remains consistent, even when pushing the limits. This braking confidence allows riders to attack braking zones aggressively, a critical advantage on any racetrack. Modern superbikes rely heavily on electronics, and the Yamaha R1 is no exception. However, Yamaha's philosophy differs from many of its competitors. The R1 uses a 6-axis IMU to manage traction control, slide control, lift control, engine brake management, launch control, and the quick shifter. But these systems are tuned to assist rather than dominate. Instead of aggressively cutting power, the electronics intervene smoothly and predictably. Skilled riders can still feel in control, while less experienced riders benefit from an additional safety margin. The technology works in the background, supporting the rider rather than replacing skill. Aerodynamically, the Yamaha R1 takes a subtle approach. Rather than relying on large external winglets, Yamaha focused on fairing shape and airflow management. The design reduces front-end lift at high speed, improves stability under acceleration, and minimizes aerodynamic drag. This understated approach reflects Yamaha's belief that effective aerodynamics should work without drawing attention to themselves. The riding position of the R1 leaves no doubt about its intentions. High rear-set foot pegs, low clip-on handlebars, and an aggressive forward lean place the rider in a race-ready posture. This position maximizes control during braking, cornering, and acceleration. It is uncomfortable for long street rides, but perfect for track riding. The R1 does not try to adapt to the rider. It expects the rider to adapt to it. What truly separates the Yamaha R1 from many modern superbikes is its focus on communication. It is not the most powerful bike on paper. It is not the most comfortable. It does not rely on electronics to hide its behavior. Instead, it prioritizes feedback, predictability, and rider connection. This is why many professional and experienced riders describe the R1 as honest. When you make a mistake, the bike tells you. When you do something right, it rewards you. The Yamaha R1 is not for everyone. It is not designed for casual riding. It does not flatter beginners. And it does not compromise its character to appeal to a wider audience. But for riders who care about precision, repeatable performance, and understanding exactly what their motorcycle is doing at the limit, the R1 remains one of the purest race-inspired machines ever built. If you value engineering over hype, performance over comfort, and logic over emotion, then this kind of motorcycle, and this kind of content, is meant for you. Mototech Breakdown exists to analyze motorcycles, not advertise them. We focus on how machines are engineered, why they behave the way they do, and what truly matters when performance is the priority. If you watch this video till the end, you already belong here.